Welcome to Sunday Morning Devotional and Bible Study. This Bible study lesson is brought to you by Bay Branch Primitive Baptist Church at 393 Bay Branch Church Road in historic Belleville, Georgia. We bring you a new devotional lesson each week based on the Primitive Baptist Bible Study Guide. You can view the lesson anytime on our YouTube channel or Facebook page. Now, grab your Bible. Here's Pastor V. Vernon Eckelberry with today's lesson.
Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday morning devotional and Bible study. This morning the title of the lesson is Be Humble and Be Exalted. That's lesson 10 for June the 4th, 2023 in your lesson guide. Now, the text is from 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of God, that He may exalt you in due time. Let's look at the definition of some of our words. Humility, the term means to lower oneself, to bring down one's pride, to be servile, to have a modest opinion of oneself. Now, exaltation means to be lifted up, to be raised to a place of honor. We have what we call self-exaltation, and Paul wrote about that when he said one should not think of himself more highly than he ought to think. Then there's divine exaltation that begins with God. And that's in our text this morning. Humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of God, that He may exalt you in due time. Now let's compare one to the other from Luke 14:11. Whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased or brought low, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted or raised up. Now let's look at number 3, humble yourselves. Now that means humility before God. First of all, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and He shall lift you up. That's from James 4:10. This also means humility among God's people. From 1 Peter 5:5, we read, Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. When James writes, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, it implies making a choice. But man by nature always chooses pride over humility. So let's look then at abasement. In Matthew 23:12, we read, Whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. Since humility is unnatural to humans, sometimes God must force the issue and abase those that are full of pride. Our lesson text this morning is preceded by the words, God resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble. Resisteth here means in the original Greek to set an army in array against, or to stand against in a battle. So God wars against the proud that exalt themselves as much as any evil in the world, even Satan himself. Proud Nebuchadnezzar had to confess at the end that those that walk in pride he is able to abase. That's from Daniel 4:37. And of course Nebuchadnezzar should know, under the abasement of God, he turned from a haughty braggart to a humble believer. Fourthly and finally, let's look at exaltation. Luke 14:11 reads, He that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Once the disciples pridefully disputed among themselves who should be the greatest, according to Luke 22:24. Well, Jesus sat a little child in His lap, and He told His disciples, Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same shall be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Be humble and be exalted is the name of our lesson this morning. 1 Peter 5:6 tells us that we should humble ourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that He may exalt you, or lift you up in due time. We must add those three words because they are powerful. Due time means an appointed time, a set time, the end time. So Peter is actually saying to us that we should humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God, that He may exalt us when the time comes that Jesus arrives to exalt His people forever and forever. And now, may God be with you till we meet again.
Thank you for being with us today. A new Bible study devotional lesson can be viewed each week on our YouTube channel or Facebook page. God bless you, and we hope to see you again soon.